Fight fans, in our next bout of the evening, this in the welterweight division, scheduled for 8 rounds. Let me direct your attention first to the blue corner. This young gladiator tipped the scales today at a ready 142 pounds. Wearing the red trunks trimmed in black with a professional record of 11 big wins against 4 defeats, 1 draw, 6 of those wins by knockout. Hailing out of Esmeraldas, Ecuador, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Otilio Villarreal. His opponent hailing out of the red corner. This young man tipped the scales today at a trim and ready 141 pounds. Wearing the black and red with blue trim, with an undefeated record of 6 wins and no losses, 4 of those wins by knockout. Hailing from Capitol Heights, Maryland, fight fans, welcome Quinton Williams. The referee and the third man in charge of this bout, referee Earl Brown.
Everybody go over there, and I'll be over there in a minute, okay? All right, referee Earl Brown giving instructions. The undefeated Quinton Williams came in today 6-0, 4 KOs. Otilio Villarreal looking to stop a 4-fight losing streak. He came in at 11-4-1, 6 knockouts. Taking a slight journey here into the welterweight division, actually junior welterweights at that, and we're round number 1. We're scheduled for 8. John, originally scheduled for 6. They've stretched it, and you've got to wonder, you know, a fighter like Quinton Williams, never been past 4, all of a sudden at late notice, and has to wonder a little bit about, gee, you know, 1 second you think you're going 6 and you've never been past 4. Now all of a sudden, well, you're going 8.
Especially for a young fighter too, Arnie. I mean, that's a lot to ask.
Quick starter though, with good knockout power. He's got 4 KOs in his 6 wins. He's got 4 knockouts in a row right now, trying to keep that streak alive. Villarreal only got 6 knockouts in his 11 wins.
And I say it's a lot to ask of a young fighter. You know, psychologically, that's the kind of thing that can get to a guy. You know, you should be trained. You should be able to go those rounds anyway. But against a guy like Villarreal, he's been around a long time, and he's a veteran. He could use that against you.
Well, take this also. Villarreal, he's been the 10-round distance 4 times. He's been 11 rounds once, 8 a couple of times, 6 numerous times. Because we got a minute going by here in round number 1. But he's really got to get his career back on track. He's got those 4 losses in a row. Started his career at a very young 20 years of age back in 1992, and with an 11-4-1 record, he's still all of 24 years of age.
If you were to look at these 2 records, you would insist that Villarreal is, you know, supposed to be easy fodder for Quinton Williams. I mean, you know, you got a young fighter, unbeaten, 6-0 against a fighter who's dropped his last 4 fights. So that doesn't bode well on paper for the veteran.
No, it certainly doesn't. Fighting close, referee Earl Brown breaks the 2 fighters. I got to tell you, what do you think about those shorts, though, Quinton Williams is wearing? I think they're a little bit too long. It's like carrying an extra pound around with you. They're all the way down to the top of the shoes. And that's Quinton Williams. He's obviously the one with the long shorts.
What do you suppose the fringe benefits of wearing those are?
All right,
Sorry.
Villarreal,
I couldn't resist.
He's in the red shorts with the black shirt. A big right hand by Quinton Williams. Drops Villarreal, trying to get some movement back in his legs. I think he got up a little bit too soon.
He really did. Should just stayed down, collected himself. But he's getting a standing 8.
Referee Earl Brown says, walk to me, and he walks to him. Let's see if Quinton Williams, a big finisher, can stop this fight now. He's moving in. Throwing it. Got to tell you, though, John, he's throwing punches. He's leaving himself open on the way in here, and Villarreal starts to tag him.
You're right, Arnie. Very wide with his punches. Needs to shorten them up and step inside.
As we come to the end of round number 1, Villarreal seems to have his senses back. Well, we go back to the corner with Otilio Villarreal. He got a bit of a wake-up call in round number 1, got dropped. Almost tried to make referee Earl Brown think it didn't happen by popping up so quick. We're going to take a look at the action here. There's that overhand right. Ooh, and he goes right back on that right foot.
Yeah.
Sprung right back up.
That was a reflex.
Brown.
Yeah, total reflex action, because you could see he did not know where he was briefly.
Well, you know what? If had he continued to go back too, he might have really hurt that leg. He might have hurt that right leg.
The way he was falling back on it.
Yeah. Giving instructions there. Quinton Williams looking to stay undefeated. 6-0, 4 knockout streak. We take again a look at action from round number 1. At the end of the round, you can see he left himself open a little bit as Villarreal got his legs back. Round number 2, scheduled for 8. It was supposed to be a 6. They've moved it to 8, and that's got to be in Villarreal's advantage.
Yeah, you would think it would be, with the
Arnie
experience
Tokyo,
he has.
Arnie Tokyo Rosenthal along with John Saraceno. Here on Heavyweight Explosion, but every once in a while we take a journey on the explosion into the lighter weights, and Villarreal coming back,
Well, that right
landing some crisp shots.
Yeah,
there.
that right hand caught Quinton's attention there.
Williams coming in, but you know he's got to be thinking about pacing himself a little bit here. It's only been 4 rounds twice, and that was the first 2 fights of his career against the same opponent. Fought Marcus Jackson twice. First one back in January '94, the second time in February '94, winning 4-round decision both times. That was it. After that, never been past 3. Minute gone by in round number 2. That's Otilio Villarreal. He's in the he's in the red shorts. Quinton Williams in the long black shorts, and no more jokes about fringe benefits. We're almost halfway gone here in round number 1. I got to tell you, Villarreal seems to have cleared his head, John, and have his legs back.
Yeah, he's recovered from that knockdown, and he's back in the fight. How about a lampshade joke?
Williams showing some good move. Oh, he ate a big left hook there. Villarreal showing real good hand speed right now. Working the body.
Well, Williams is trying to use his boxing skill by boxing and moving, jabbing and moving, but he's backing up sometimes carelessly. He's getting caught with punches as he's backing out.
Well, with a minute to go in round number 2, I was about to say you can't fight Villarreal moving backwards as he tries to get out from underneath him.
A slight trip there. Very wide with his shots. He's got to shorten those up, Arnie, or he's going to start paying for it.
Villarreal coming on real strong, taking big command here as the motivation of the fight. Definitely the momentum right now in the favor of Otilio Villarreal. And maybe Quinton Williams is trying to preserve himself a little bit here after a very fast first round, worrying about that 8th. Then again, he's probably also thinking about trying to keep his knockout streak alive. We come to the close of round number 2. We're scheduled for 8 on Heavyweight Explosion. Well, John, very good second round for Otilio Villarreal. Got himself right back into this fight.
Yeah, Williams better not be thinking about the knockout streak. He better be thinking about just winning this fight, because he's got his hands full with a guy that's got a little bit more experience than he does. And these are the kinds of tests young fighters must overcome to reach their potential.
And we take a look at second round action, and Villarreal, good counter punching there. He's got Quinton Williams backing up, I would say, at least 2/3 of the round. Tried to duck under there to get out of harm's way. Did whatever he had to do, though. Instinct took him away. Take a look at it from another angle.
He missed with the right hand and paid
lunging
with
right from way on the outside. Yep. Left himself wide open.
That left hook caught the target.
Round number 3, welterweights. Referee Earl Brown calling a quick timeout there. Waves the fighters back in. A little disruption in the corner of Otilio Villarreal. Been 1 knockdown thus far in the fight. Flash knockdown sent Villarreal down to the canvas. In the first round, Quinton Williams comes out and lands a good right away on the jaw. Villarreal holding on. Good second round for Villarreal. Quinton Williams, though, starting fast here in round number 3.
And he needs to put some kind of pressure on Villarreal. That second round, he really didn't do a whole lot, and he allowed Villarreal to get back into the fight after that first round knockdown.
Coming to you from Trump Taj Mahal in Atlantic City. Marty Tokyo Rosenthal along with John Saraceno. Minute gone by in round number 3. Quinton Williams, undefeated, coming to you today out of Capitol Heights, Maryland. He's 6-0, 4 knockouts. More of the veteran Otilio Villarreal, originally out of Ecuador, and has only fought in Ecuador twice in his pro career. John, he actually started his pro career in New York back in Feb of '92 and had 2 back-to-back fights in October '93, December '93 in Ecuador, and that's all she wrote for him in Ecuador. Otherwise, his whole career has been up here in the Northeast.
You know, Arnie, one of the things young fighters have to learn to do is to master the distance between themselves and the target, which is the other fighter. And Williams is not doing that in this fight. He's really, you see him throwing that right hand, he's too far on the outside. He needs to step inside because he's leaving himself very vulnerable for counterpunching, which he's already been hit with.
Both men working the body effectively. Good counterpunch there by Williams.
What old-time fighters say, to go swimming, you got to get wet. I mean, you do have to take chances by going to the inside, but hopefully you take smart chances and you move your head and keep low.
Well, Quinton Williams works the body well, but has a tendency while he's working the body, he's leaving his head wide open. Villarreal taking advantage of that is in the inside. Doesn't seem to be affected by the body blows that much either. Good right hand lead by Quinton Williams.
Williams a little too stationary and upright also when he's throwing his punches. He's there to be hit.
20 seconds to go in round number 3. Both fighters slowing the pace down quite a bit. The head's banging in close there too. Notice a little puffiness now in the eye of Quinton Williams. We're under 10 seconds to go. Villarreal trying to pull this round out.
I think he's out hustling him, Arnie, don't you?
He is right now. He's going to pull this round out. At least not officially on my card. Well, another good round for Otilio Villarreal. Quinton Williams really started to go to the body pretty good. We look here in Villarreal's corner. But like you mentioned, a little bit of out hustling. Good counter punching on the part of Villarreal. And Quinton Williams going nicely downstairs to the body, but leaving himself open while he did such. See if we can listen to some of the instruction on his corner.
And you're looking at it. Basically what we were talking about.
Exactly what you said, John. Where's the head motion? Get that head moving.
And again, you're dealing with a young fighter, 26 years old, still learning.
Round number 4. It's scheduled for 8. It was supposed to be a 6, as we mentioned earlier. And they may be rethinking that decision right now. Quinton Williams, after this round, will be in uncharted waters. Never been past 4 rounds. Villarreal, as we mentioned earlier, has been in 10-round wars 4 times. Been to the 11th round once. Only been stopped 1 time, and that was in the 11th round against Demetrio Ceballos. And that was back in March of '95 for the IBF Latin American title.
And the 4-rounders that you spoke of with Williams, those were back 2 years ago, Arnie.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, that's, you know.
And against the same opponent, so it
right,
wasn't
so he hasn't really been in this kind of a situation, and he may be soon facing.
Villarreal's in the red shorts with the black stripe. That's Quinton Williams. He's in the black trunks coming down way past his knees. You know, to me, I'm all for glamour and sharp shorts and all of that, but when that has to inhibit your performance. It has to be extra weight, extra stuff flopping down around your legs. You certainly don't train. Oh, and Villarreal lands a good left hook and backs Williams up. And he's got him hurt, John.
Yeah, right now he's got a lot more to worry about than those heavy trunks. 2 flashing fists in his face, as Villarreal has really turned the fight around after that first round knockdown.
That's the only knockdown thus far in the fight. That was in the first round. Flash knockdown of Villarreal. He seems to weather the storm, and he's really, as we're halfway going to round number 4, he's really opening up on Quinton Williams right now.
Boy, he hit him with a lead right hand there. He's just taking this kid to school, Arnie.
Villarreal obviously a lot more comfortable with the distance that's coming up. Quinton Williams maybe on the back of his mind, can I go to 8 if I have to with this cagey veteran? He's only been stopped 1 time.
And now you see Williams digging down and getting on the inside, doing some good body work.
Eyes very puffy, though, on Quinton Williams. Got a decent jab, but he needs to double up on it, move in on that second jab, set up the right.
Yeah, you're right. At times it's lazy. He just throws it out there, and he throws it 1 at a time. And where's the hook off the jab? I guess that's something he's going to learn to do.
That comes later on. He's only into his 7th pro fight. That's usually the hardest one to throw and usually the last of the arsenal.
Better perfect the jab first, right?
Yep. 20 seconds to go in round number 4. It's been all Villarreal since the first round. Unfortunately, had a 10-8 deficit to make up. Unfortunately for him, and fortunately for Quinton Williams. Well, John, I've got it dead even at the end of 4. Of course, given the first round 10-8 to Quinton Williams, 10-9. I sort of thought round number 4, Williams did a little bit more work, possibly came on and won that round.
That was a close round.
We look at action here from round number 4.
But I thought Villarreal landed the more significant telling blows of that round. Although Williams did come on towards the end.
I might have stole the round on the judges' scorecard. You certainly stole it on mine, but I'm trying to make it a little more interesting.
Don't fall asleep now, Arnie.
Round number 5, we're scheduled for 8. Otilio Villarreal came into this fight 11-4-1, 6 knockouts. He's in the red shorts with the black stripe. Quinton Williams, 6-0, trying to keep his unbeaten streak alive. He's got 4 straight knockouts. Dropped Villarreal in the first round. Been all Villarreal, though, since then. 4th round, very close, though. Good sharp combinations now by Villarreal. He's got Williams backing up. Starting to keep his elbows tucked in a little bit better, Villarreal. Trying to negate the body attack of Williams, which was very effective earlier on.
You see the respect, though, that Williams is showing to Villarreal right now, staying on the outside. And maybe it's his best chance to win the fight, is to jab and move.
Well, he's there. He got a triple jab there, but he didn't throw anything off it. And he's moving laterally while he's throwing instead of moving in on the second one and using the right. Minute gone by in round number 5. Villarreal sort of chasing Williams now. Those jabs aren't really landing. He's snapping them, but he's hitting air, and that's going to tire you out too, even if you're not used to going 8. And while we're mentioning that, this is uncharted waters here for undefeated young Quinton Williams. Never been past 4, and here he is halfway through the 5th round. Villarreal, as we said earlier, 10 rounds 4 times, 11 round ones, 8 numerous times. He just got shook real bad there, John.
But Villarreal really wants to turn it up. He hit him with a right and a left. The left really shook him. What I like about Villarreal is he throws punches to all parts of the body. He's non-discriminatory.
Well, in the last 2 years, Quinton Williams has only fought 6 rounds. The good news is he had 4 knockouts. The bad news is he's only fought 6 rounds, and here he is in round number 5. He could wind up fighting more rounds today than he did in the whole last year and a half combined.
It's going to be a true test to see how he finishes out the second half of this fight.
And we're under a minute to go in round number 5. It's scheduled for 8. It was supposed to be a 6. And I think at this point, Quinton Williams people may be rethinking that. He dropped Villarreal in the first, but Villarreal's been very strong and very tough and fast since then.
You know, and maybe his management saying, gee, we looked at this guy's record. He had 4 in a row.
Well,
lost.
How do you take a giant step? Take
Right.
the giant step. You've got a guy that's got a 4-bout losing streak.
Right. Let's jump on him. They might have jumped on the wrong cat.
Thought he was an opponent. And perhaps in a 6-round fight, it might have made more sense, but now.
Nice little combination there. I don't know if he had a lot of steam on those punches, but he connected.
No, but a very good round for Villarreal. Landed a lot more shots.
Oh, no question.
And telling blows. As we come to the end of round number 5. Well, another good round for Otilio Villarreal. We take a look at Quinton Williams' corner, and they got to start to be a little concerned here. His unbeaten record certainly at risk.
They're more than a little concerned. His cornermen have been screaming throughout the fight to take the fight to Villarreal.
And we're taking a look at action here. You know, part of the problem is he can't throw
And there he got hit with that
shots
left
from
hook.
outside like
Right.
that and miss. And Villarreal made him pay with a 3-punch combination as he came right in. If you're going to throw that jab and set it up, then you better move in with it. Round number 6 with the Trump Taj Mahal in Atlantic City. I'm Arnie Rosenthal along with John Saraceno. And we got a real good one starting to work its way up here. Quinton Williams, undefeated, came in at 6-0. He dropped Otilio Villarreal, came in at 11-4-1 in the first round. Villarreal shook off the knockdown, and it's been all Villarreal since, backing Quinton Williams up. Really starting to show his experience. And Williams, someplace where he's never been before in the later rounds. Only been 4 rounds twice in his pro career. And that right eye really starting to look nasty on Quinton Williams, John.
And you got to wonder how that's going to affect the young fighter also. Even Evander Holyfield, when he got cut or later in his career after he'd been heavyweight champion in a fight, was really bothered by it against Larry Holmes.
Absolutely.
Really bothered him, and you could see how it affected him during the fight.
A little more than a minute gone by here in round number 6. That's Williams. He's in those very long shorts. Villarreal in his red shorts. I mean, if I was working with Quinton Williams, probably the first advice I'd give him is leave the shorts.
Or at least cut him. He's just not sharpshooting right now. Williams, he's arm punching.
No, and you're going to get more tired as you punch air, as we both know. But he hasn't been effective on the inside as he was earlier on.
That was some nice footwork there by Villarreal, stepping to the side and then coming back the other way.
Well, it's just real clear. He's the more experienced fighter, the more seasoned fighter.
He's got more tricks in his bag. A lot more.
Coming on the 1-minute mark here in round number 6, Quinton Williams looking very tired. Breathing through his mouth, eating shots like that, straight right hands. Getting hit with punches he wasn't getting hit with in the first 2-3 rounds. Williams out of Capitol Heights, Maryland. Villarreal originally out of Esmeraldas, Ecuador.
His game plan here, Williams, it looks at this point, is to be the jab from the outside, keep some lateral movement, and then throw the right hand in. But like you say, he's throwing it from too far out in right field.
Oh, and he's just looking, he's in survival mode right now. If I was referee Earl Brown, I think you'll see a standing 8 count before this round is over. Oh, look at him, he's ready to fall over. He's dead tired. He's 2 rounds past where he's ever been before, and at this point he's fought as many rounds today as he's fought in the last year and a half in the ring.
It's taking its toll on the young fighter.
Villarreal's got a good shot at turning around a 4-bout losing streak, and Quinton Williams' undefeated record definitely in jeopardy here. As we come to the close of round number 6, it's scheduled for 8 on Heavyweight Explosion. Well, John, you know, there's been a lot of cases in boxing history, some of the higher profile ones. We take a look here in Quinton Williams' corner that seems a little panicked, I might add, where you've had young fighters and they try to take that giant step and move up with a more seasoned veteran. Higher profile examples might be Andrew Maynard going in with Bobby Ches.
Yep.
You know, and you think you're going to take that step, be the former world champion. In this case, not quite the comparison, but a 6-0 fighter against a seasoned 11-4-1 fighter who's been a lot of rounds, unless you're a very heavy puncher, and maybe they're believing their own hype. And thinking that Quinton Williams, you know, has got 4 straight knockouts, not looking at the fact that Villarreal has only been stopped 1 time, and that was in the 11th round.
Exactly.
Round number 7, we're scheduled for 8. It was supposed to go 6, and you have to wonder at this point, you know, and how I've got it scored, John. 57-56 at the end of 6 in favor of Quinton Williams, but perhaps, in favor of Otilio Villarreal, but close rounds. Perhaps at the end of 6, he would have been happy to go home at this point, maybe get out of here with the draw, maybe win a close decision. Now he's in a territory. He's looking very, very slow, very tired. There's no zip left on the punches whatsoever of Quinton Williams. And Villarreal just moving him around to wherever he wants to move him.
Yeah, the other guy really looks game. I mean, he really looks like he wants it.
He looks fresh.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, although Villarreal started his career 2 years sooner than Quinton Williams, he's 2 years younger. The younger of the two, he's all of 24 years of age. Quinton Williams will be 27 in May. Started his pro career very late, considering that he had a very good amateur career. Throwing very off balance. He's got no legs left on him whatsoever. If Villarreal jumped all over him right now, he could end this fight.
I'm surprised he doesn't turn up the attack just a little bit. That's a very good point.
Well, Villarreal, very cautious fighter. He's only got 6 knockouts in his 11 wins. Hasn't knocked out anybody since September of '94. You have to go back to his fight with Wilfredo de la Cruz in Atlantic City. Stopped him in 6. Well, that actually ended his winning streak. He lost 4 fights after that, which explains why he's had no knockouts since then. Notice how I put things together here.
Okay, Sherlock. Well, he's just getting backed up all over the ring.
And I would applaud Earl Brown for a standing 8 count right now. I think it would definitely be suitable as we're on the 1 minute mark in round number 7. A lot of time left in this round. Game, good heart though on Quinton Williams. One thing you can find out at the end of this fight today, win, lose, or draw, showing a terrific heart, hanging in there, continues to try and punch back. That right eye is a mess.
The swelling has really increased over the last few rounds. Difficult situation for a young fighter to be in.
Oh, he's eating a lot of shots right now.
There's
a school of thought too. As heavy a puncher as he is, you're in his corner. Do you go back there now and say, you know what, this isn't your night, kid?
No, I don't think so.
Let him finish the fight.
Yeah, I think you got to, because I think it sends a bad signal to him. I think it sends more than one bad signal to him. And it's not as if he's taking a horrific beating here where it could end his career, but right there you see his legs are gone.
Working through a couple of nice body shots, but he just couldn't keep his balance. Oh, Villarreal just totally opening up on him right now as we come to the end of round number 7. This one looks like it's going to at least go into the last round. Well, I'll tell you, it's going to be very tough for Quinton Williams to look at himself in the mirror tomorrow, not because of not having enough macho, but because his face is definitely swollen up. Let's take a listen in here and what advice they give him for the 8th and final round.
You
Earl
see
Brown asking him where he is.
Right. Earl Brown concerned as well he should be. Right on the button with that left hook by Villarreal.
But it also tells you a little bit about Villarreal's lack of punching power.
Yeah, not a big puncher.
And he started his career at 135 pounds, you know, fighting up here in the junior welterweights. He just doesn't have the knockout power, but he certainly has the accuracy. 8th and final round. From the knockout in the first, knockdown in the first round of Quinton Williams over Villarreal, you thought it might end a lot sooner, and here we are in the 8th round, and it's Williams, oddly enough, who in my opinion, John, I don't know about you, needs a knockout to win this fight.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that he's behind on points. Even with that 2-point round he had right from the get-go.
Sure, his undefeated stature came into this fight 6-0, 4 knockouts. Villarreal came in 11-4, 1 draw, but all 4 of those losses came in a row. He's trying to end that losing streak and get his career back on track, and he could do that looking very impressive and fast and sharp here today.
The best thing that Quinton Williams can hope for here is a moral victory to make it the full 8 rounds, because he's in a tough fight here, and he's absorbed some punishment, and he's chosen to fight through it, which not all young fighters will do. Some fighters will reach that point in their early career where they say, this is not for me.
A minute gone by here, 2 minutes to go in the fight. Villarreal looking very fresh. Very impressed with the shape that he came into this fight. Both fighters had their last fight back in November of '95. The difference is Villarreal went 8 rounds back in November. Quinton Williams had a first-round knockout down in D.C.
Villarreal looks, you're right, like he could go the championship distance tonight.
And I wonder, at this sort of a weight, Quinton Williams came in at 141 pounds today, the heaviest he's ever weighed as a pro. Villarreal came in at 142, the same he weighed for his last fight. Certainly moving up now into the junior welterweight ranks.
Well, you wonder, Quinton Williams, if he got the right amount of sparring and training, why his weight was up a few pounds, and if that had any effect.
Because, at his age, his weight should have stabilized a bit as he gets hurt again with a minute to go here in round number 8. Quinton Williams definitely in survival mode right now for the last 60 seconds of this fight. He's not even trying for a knockout. He's just trying to be there at the bell.
And a referee is watching Williams very closely.
And I take a look at Quinton Williams. He really should be campaigning as a 135-pounder. In my opinion, he was down at 136 pounds as recently as July. For him to balloon up to, 141 pounds.
He's not exactly what you would call a big junior welterweight.
No, not at all. Small guy.
He's not even a big lightweight.
Villarreal finishing strong here. "20 seconds to go in the fight. It looks like this one will go the distance, but Otilio Villarreal, at least unofficially on our scorecards, looks like he's going to end his 4-bout losing streak.
I mean, when you think about Oscar De La Hoya being in the same weight class as Quinton Williams and their size differential and power, you're right, maybe he should be down at 35.
And there we have it, the end of 8 rounds. Fighters embrace, but Otilio Villarreal raising his hand, and I think rightfully so, as his corner hoists him. It looks like he's going to came in here today. They wanted to use him as a stepping stone, and I think, in my opinion, John, and I think yours too, the reverse happened. That Quinton Williams got used as a stepping stone to kickstart Villarreal's career again.
And that happens sometimes. A lot of times people wonder, well, gee, how do you get an opponent for a fight? And a lot of that is done on the telephone. And if you're not familiar with a fighter, you can get burned. I don't know if that's what happened in this instance. A lot of times you rely on people who have seen the guy fight. You rely on different sources for your information. And that can be risky too, because if you rely on somebody to give you a report and maybe Villarreal wasn't at his best that night, you could have a false sense of security. And style-wise, you'd want to see how he fights.
So I tell you, strange things have happened. I unofficially have this 77-74 in favor of Otilio Villarreal.
And I think you're being generous with Mr. Williams. But we'll see.
We've seen this is, as the cliche goes, this is boxing. And it's very subjective. And he did have that 10-8 round in the first round.
But after that round, Williams never had him in any kind of trouble. You never sensed that he could get back into the fight the way the fight progressed.
Villarreal still looking like he can go another couple of rounds, and Quinton Williams looking like he wanted to go home after the 6th. And remember what we said, it might be real interesting here. Had the fight only been a 6-round fight, how this decision might have gone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be we're waiting here for the official call from Dangerous Danny Campbell. And we're going to go up to him for the official announcement. Take it away, Danny.
before we announce the decision, let's give both these gladiators a round of applause for a very gallant effort. The judging as follows. Judge Calvin Claxton scores the fight 75-75. Judge Deborah Barnes scores the fight 75 Williams, 76 Villarreal. And Judge John Potteray scores the fight 77 Villarreal and 74 Williams. The winner by majority decision, Otilio Villarreal.
Well, there you have it. Otilio Villarreal improves to 12-4. One draw. Quinton Williams gets his first loss. But, John, interesting point. You have a draw at 75-75, a 76-75 decision. Only one judge saw it the way we saw it at 77-74. Go back now to our thoughts. Had this fight gone the original scheduled 6-round distance, I got to believe, because I don't think he won the last 2 rounds for sure,